Okay, let's get started. This is a regular meeting of the Fairhaven Planning Board. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. At the time of the board reorganization in January of this year, the board adopted its regular meeting schedule for the year. Notice of the schedule was sent to and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times on February 9th, 2023. That notice was also posted on the bulletin board in Borough Hall and has remained continuously posted there as required by the statute. A copy of the notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the Borough Clerk. A copy of the notice has also been sent to such members of the public as have requested such information in accordance with the statute. Adequate notice having been given, the board secretary is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. So we will call this meeting to order with a roll call.
Mr. Borough.
Here.
Ms. Bush. Ms. Koch.
Here.
Mr. Noel.
Here.
Mr. Paolo.
Here.
Mr. Roll.
Here.
Mr. Nicka. Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Olson.
Here.
Ms. Antonin.
She's not here yet.
She's sworn in and ready to go.
Is she sworn in? Yeah, she was sent I know she sent a note saying she had a prior commitment prior to being appointed, so. We have a quorum, and so let's have the salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So before we get to the new business, why don't we go through the administrative items real quick. I don't think we have too much, and then we can talk about the land use ordinance 2023-12. So Dave, do you want to talk about the approval of the minutes?
Sure. I saw the approval of the minutes from the June 2023 regular planning board meeting were distributed via email, and I've read in the packet. Has everybody had a chance to view them? And if there is any commentary, that would be the time to make it. Make a motion to approve the minutes from June 20.
Second.
Ms. Koch.
Yes.
Mr. Noel.
Yes.
Mr. Paolo.
Yes.
Mr. Roll.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
And Mr. Olson.
Yes. And so the second administrative item that we have to talk about is an appointment of a planning board representative to the Fairhaven Environmental Roundtable. That meeting happens on September 27th at 5:30. And so I wanted to actually have that, do this discussion in a meeting. Hopefully we have a volunteer or somebody that would like to do that as the planning board representative. And we can, officially make that happen.
So, okay,
Yes, of course. But
I'm on the environmental commission. I'd be a natural, but I'm gonna be in Texas that day.
okay.
I would also raise my hand. I have to check availability though. I feel like I have a conflict on 27. I just don't know.
Do we have, so Dave can do it, or well, you don't have to check now, but what I'm saying is perhaps Dave be primary, and then if somehow we can have an alternate if somebody would like to do it.
It's September 27th.
September 27th at 5:30.
I can be an alternative.
Would you mind?
Not at all.
Okay. Okay, so that gets us coverage for that item. We don't need a motion in a.
No.
Okay, and then the third item, I just wanted to, there was some email traffic about the October meeting and the date, and so I just wanted to make sure we had clarity on when the next meeting was and that we had proper notice. Or not, and then would we have to cancel?
No, we do have proper notice.
Okay.
I'm assuming, Sandy, we were able to get that publication in?
It's going to be sent today,
Yes, we'll be in
but
time.
it'll be in time
We'll
for.
be in time to do that, so we'll have adequate time for adequate notice. And did you want to announce right now as to what the date for the October meeting is?
It's October 17th. I just want to make sure everybody has the right date on them now.
Same time, same location? Okay.
Yeah,
A minor clerical glitch on that, that's all.
right,
Yeah.
but I just want to review the other dates as well, since I put them in
Ah.
the notice. Make sure that we're all on the same page. November 15th is the November date that was published, which is a little off cycle.
Right.
December 12th is the next date, which is also a little bit earlier than normal. And January 16th, 2024 is the reorganization date
I have a question.
You have January 16th?
that I have.
Yeah, right there too.
Okay.
What was the date in December again? I'm sorry.
December 12th,
Right, 19th. And what was the January one? What was that?
16th.
And we still can do Zoom. I'm gonna be in California for one of them.
But don't think we approved the policy for that.
We don't.
So don't.
Okay.
Okay. I just solicit any public comment on any of the administrative items? Okay. And so, we have no old business, so we'll proceed immediately, to the new business, which is the consideration of new land use ordinance 2023-12, amending ordinance 2022-07, creating a habitat rezoning ordinance. This is our fair housing ordinance, and we've been given an opinion by our borough planner, by our planning board planner, that the ordinance is in accordance with the master plan. Consistent with the master plan. And this document that's come out has a minor, almost like a typo correction, quite frankly. And so it comes before us to approve, and if we have any comment that we need to make, we need to make that comment and submit that comment to council. So, yeah, Doug.
Sure. For those of you who were on the board in September of 2020, you were saying to yourself, "Gee, this looks awfully familiar." And it should, because at that point in time, you may recall, we approved a series of ordinances that were all centered around, if you will, the housing element and the fair share. Basically, it's a mouthful: housing element, fair share, and fair share plan. At that time, we received opinions and we reviewed various ordinances from 2020-04 through 2020-10, each involving the resolution that we had of the fair share plan, how we were going to do that, how we were going to zone, and in particular, 2020-7 was to create the habitat rezoning ordinance. And at that time, and in our letter to mayor and council, we advised that we had received the opinion from HGA, where they stated, "It's our opinion ordinance 2027 habitat rezoning is consistent with the borough's master plan documents as it implements the recommendation in the 2020 HEFSP to rezone block 45, lots 10 and or 12 to develop a two-family affordable development. 2020 HEFSP anticipates Habitat for Humanity as the developer of the site. The ordinance also supports the 2016 master plan re-exam's recommendation and carried forward from the 2005 master plan to create more opportunities for affordable housing. HGA, as it's already been identified by the chair, has also rendered an opinion, and in this instance, basically told you, as you can see from it, we kind of knocked out 0.02 and lot 12 when we put 10 in. It really is a technical, as to the consistency analysis, the HGA has said it's our opinion that the edits to chapter 30 are technical in nature and are intended to, quote, clean up, end quote, some of the language and formatting within the zoning ordinance. There is no, I guess they say there is no substantial change, but I guess it's also substantive change, the intent of the zone for the zone standards therein. So really what we have occasionally, we refine something. There really isn't any change in the intent and purpose of the ordinance. It really is just to, as the planners characterize it, some typos. We're not including lot 12 anymore. We're doing a different designation for lots. There's no change in their determination as to consistency from what it was before, as to what it is now. It really is just a technical change, but out of abundance of caution, Again, Mayor and Council, not a first reading, second reading, or going to do a second reading, send it to us in the interim for our recommendation to it. If you have any concerns, we can discuss those concerns. If you don't have any concerns, generally the next step at this point in time is you could simply adopt the findings and conclusions of HGA and then say, Mr. Colas, please vote it up, get it to Mayor and Council for your next meeting. That's where you are. Okay.
I would like to make first, is there any comment by anybody on the board?
I have a question about the trees, I guess. So this would be the Roman numeral I, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess what my concern is that, you know, they'd be exempt from the tree workforce, reforestation, et cetera. Now, granted, I know we've been presented with this before, but I guess because it's in isolation, it jumped out at me a little bit more. And I'm wondering, I'm assuming the rationale for that is a cost saving measure on the developer side because it's going to be Habitat for Humanity. I'm wondering, is there somebody like the J Tree Commission or some other entity could come in and supply the necessary both tree stock and manpower? And if there's some way we can get that in writing to be assured that that would occur, because it's one thing for us to say, yeah, that would happen. But is there some way we can get some assurance that that will occur?
I can tell you,
Well, not technically within our jurisdiction at this
Okay.
meeting, but
That's what I mean.
I'll leave it to
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was asking.
yeah, representatives from members of the Garden Club in Fairhaven, Little Silver, Rumson came to one of our meetings to address that.
Oh, fantastic.
And,
Great.
they, for all of Habitat Humanity properties, they landscape those properties.
Oh, but that's great to
And,
know.
and
Great.
they said that the properties are really quite beautiful,
Right,
but they didn't, if they had to take a tree down, they didn't want to have to go through the whole permitting process
okay.
and, go before either the council if their permits were, or their requests were denied. But they assured us, they had pictures, that the home would fit in very well with the surrounding residences.
Okay, good. I'd like to have that background knowledge, yeah, because that's what I
I
was
think
afraid
they
of.
made that representation too at some meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came to the meeting.
Sounds
And,
good.
I did not mean to shut you up, because yours is a very practical and, okay, now let's implement this and how do we get this done? Because
that's
our
not-
limited role this evening is,
Right.
is it consistent or isn't it? I can certainly make the comment to them, having had that, you tell me whether you want me to.
No, I think it seems like it's
Okay.
been covered, yeah, and that's good to know.
Yeah.
So I'd ask if there's any public comment on anything we've just discussed.
No.
Okay, well, I will make a motion to adopt Mr. Kovacs' suggestions of how to go forward here, which is to direct Mr. Kovacs to write a letter to council saying that we've adopted
You found it consistent.
found it consistent with the master plan.
I second. Jimmy had his hand up first.
I'm sorry.
Non-verbal. No.
Mr. Borderline?
Yes,
Scotch?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Viola?
Yes.
Mr. Wall?
Yes,
Mr. Anderson?
yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
Great, thank you. I'd like to make one more comment before we adjourn. I'd like to thank Sandy for her years of service and would like to say how thankful I've been that she's been at the helm while I've started down my journey as a planning board member and planning, which started as a novice and you know, watching her work and reading all of her stuff. And just observing how this all works in large part has become very clear because of her work. And so I really thank you very much for everything you've done.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
With that, I think we'll,
I have one.
Oh.
Business item.
absolutely.
Sorry, it's not on the agenda. So something I'd like to get in front of, planning board for the next meeting. And that is coming from the Environmental Commission, something I brought up a while ago about a sort of best practices. I I do have in my hands a model green development checklist. It's something that's prepared by Sustainable Jersey. And it's been prepared to assist communities in encouraging and reviewing planning submittals for sustainable green design aspects of development projects. I just want to get it in front of us and see what we think. I promised the Environmental Commission I would do that. And then we can talk about what we want to do. Just speaking with Doug about what possible next steps could be. So I just want to get that in front of you for the next meeting.
Just in terms of next steps, if it's something that the planning board wants to recommend to mayor and council, that perhaps it's an item included on the checklist. I think that has to come from mayor and council in the first instance. I haven't had an opportunity to review it, but I'd like to make sure everybody sees what it is, because, you know, we do have different things on our checklist with sustainable designs and those things. And that's when people, you know, come and put their packet together. You'd have to decide what types of applications should be doing that. Minor land use, site plan, those kinds of things. But it's worth a discussion. I think if it gets before you, we can have a robust discussion about that and see what we would do. We want to recommend it to mayor and council, that having it as an additional item on the checklist, it would simply be another item that would go out in the packet when people come in and complete their applications.
Yeah, I think the right thing to do is include, if we can include that as an agenda item for discussion next meeting, and then have that checklist distributed to all the members as part of the materials for the meeting, and we can talk about that at the meeting.
Can I ask
Absolutely.
a question? Are you proposing this as being a mandatory requirement, or just a suggested requirement when people are beginning to prepare their properties for development or redevelopment?
So it's a great question. I personally would want it to be voluntary, not mandatory. So the suggestions, the way I think about it is, if a builder or developer has choice A and choice B and they're cost indifferent, and one of them happens to be sustainable, it'd be
Okay.
good for them to know that. I don't want, my intention is not that this would be forced onto
Okay.
the people. But I think it's wise to be mindful of,
Mhm.
would it morph into that?
So it's
Right.
suggested.
Yeah, suggested today, mandatory tomorrow. That's been my concern. But I don't want to bias you. There's things I like in it. There's things I don't want to get it in front of you. I'm gonna be gone next meeting in Texas in October, so.
Carry it to November.
Yeah, November's fine. If it's okay with the.
Mhm.
Fine by me.
Will we get a
Absolutely.
copy of it?
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the
yeah,
meeting?
yeah.
Okay,
I'll
great.
send it to Sandy tonight.
Sure.
You'll still be working tomorrow?
Send it early. Send it early.
That November date, by the way, we moved that out of the normal cycle because of the Thanksgiving, right? Is that the
Yes.
reason? Okay.
Yeah.
We all agreed that Wednesday was better than Tuesday that week, or that was more driven by the town council or town calendar.
I don't remember why it was that particular day of the week. I just know that that's what it was, and that's why I made sure that we had all of the dates listed to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay, I remember discussing it at the time, so I'm sure it was, I think it had something to do with the fact that we had already a Tuesday, probably a town meeting already that Tuesday.
I think we
And I think Wednesday was the only available night that week, and I think that's, yeah. Anyway,
The
just wanted-
council meeting's on the 13th. And there's a rec meeting on the 14th.
there you go.
We should be on the 19th, right?
21st, we should have done.
21st.
That's the Tuesday.
That's the, all right.
That's the Tuesday below, right? So we just bumped up to the week above.
And that's the Thanksgiving week, right, Tuesday.
That'd be Thanksgiving week, that Tuesday, yeah.
Can't believe we're worried about November already.
I know.
Goodness.
Christmas party's almost here.
Okay.
All right.
That's scary.
It's all right.
You guys have a good early order or?
Any other, anything else for the board that anyone wishes to bring up? Public comment, anything? Okay. We can adjourn then. Thank you.
Great.
Motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
Second.